so far. Absconding SSP Shyam Khatri, who surrendered to the police earlier yesterday, jailed for the 33-kilogram gold smuggling case. As hearing progresses, more details to come forth. Judiciary and legislative appear feeble as the executive becomes powerful. Risks of the government becoming dominant increases. The US to impose tariffs on steel and aluminium imports from key allies in Europe and North America. The move immediately triggers vows of retaliation from Mexico, Canada and EU. And West Indies defeats World 11 by 72 runs in the Hurricane Relief T20 charity match at Lord's. Nepal spinner Sandeep Lamichhane given opportunity to bowl and bat. The District Court of Morang has ordered jail term for Senior Superintendent of Police SSP Shyam Khatri, who turned himself at the court earlier yesterday after disappearing for 2 months. Khatri, who was suspended in accusation of connection in the infamous smuggling of 33 kilograms of gold, surrendered himself to the District Court Morang yesterday. The single bench of Justice Narayan Prasad Sharma had taken his statements for 4.5 hours. The investigation committee had commenced the investigation after Khatri's name had surfaced in the list of 63 accused in connection to the case. Based on the investigations carried out by investigation committee formed by the Home Ministry, Khatri smuggled gold on his own car. He charged 50,000 rupees per kilogram of gold smuggled from the airport. During his tenure at the Trivandrum International Airport, Khatri also made the duty officer remove related CCTV footages. Khatri has pleaded not guilty. He was at large immediately after the government had formed an investigation committee led by the Joint Secretary for Home Ministry, Ishwari Paudal. Khatri had also been arrested last year in connection to another 33-kilogram gold smuggling case, which was brought from Dubai to Trivandrum International Airport on 5th of January 2017. He was later released on a bail on 17th of March 2017. Now, prior to Khatri's arrest, 29 others linked to the case, including a former DIG, were taken into custody for the inquiry. And let us now move on to the latest national political updates. Balance of power between the executive, legislative and judiciary is imperative in democracy. However, at a time when the government, which is to say the executive, is powerful, parliamentary committees and judicial departments have become dormant. This hints towards increasing probabilities of a situation where the government's arbitrary operation could continue without having anyone to question its decisions. The current government holds almost two-thirds majority. However, the parliamentary committees that should be monitoring the government actions and endorse constitutional appointments do not even exist. The judiciary and the Commission for Investigation of Abuse of Authority are limited to temporary leadership. In such a scenario, any of the government's decision can be implemented without any question. A parliamentary hearing is mandatory for appointment of officials at constitutional bodies. However, despite the lapse of 3 months since the commencement of the parliament, these committees remain to be formed. Likewise, departments responsible for monitoring the government have appeared fragile, giving the government plenty of opportunity to operate in a unilateral manner. There are significant positions at the constitutional bodies that have remained vacant, halting government's operation, the brunt of which the nation and citizens will need to bear in the long run. Now, the first federal budget introduced by the government following the implementation of federalism has been drawing contrasting opinions. Ruling party has appreciated the budget at the meeting of Federal Parliament yesterday, while the opposition have expressed dissatisfaction. Discussions have commenced at the Federal Parliament regarding the annual approximation of the revenues and value-added tax in the fiscal year 2018-19. Terming the budget effective and in the interest of public, parliamentarians of the ruling Nepal Communist Party have appreciated the budget, while opposition Nepali Congress and other Madhes-centric parties have criticized the budget, saying it is not as per the public's expectations. The lawmakers of Nepal Communist Party have, however, said that attention should now be drawn towards implementing the budget, as it has prioritized sectors including education, agriculture and drinking water, among others. Meanwhile, the lawmakers of Nepali Congress, who had offered silent support to the programs and policies introduced by the government, have strongly criticized the budget. They have accused the budget of not being practical and being ineffective in terms of heading the country towards development. The Congress lawmakers expressed concern as the current government has scrapped the programs introduced by the previous government. Rashtriya Janata Party, who had supported the government, has opined that the budget is against the norm of federalism. While the parliamentarians of the ruling party were defending the budget at the House of Representatives, the opposition opined that its implementation remains challenging. Time now for a short break. For more news, stay with us. Welcome back. More than half of the contractor companies that have taken up around 516 construction contracts have exceeded their deadlines. Based on the District Administration Office's report submitted to the Home Ministry, at least 342 contractors were found to occupy contracts, receive the project budget and pay least attention on the completion part. At least 48 construction companies were granted contracts but are yet to commence the projects despite the lapse of a year. Jalpa Devi Nirman Shewa, that belongs to Nanda Prasad Chapagai, has exceeded the deadline of 13 projects. 4 of these 13 projects have not even started. Likewise, the company of Sharada Prasad Adhikari, the landlord of Nepal Communist Party co-chairman Pushpa Kamal Dahal, has held 8 projects, but none of the projects have commenced as of yet either. It is the same with Lumbini Pipes Golden Construction Company that was granted the contract of construction of Chabail Bypass Roadway and Tilganga Tamraganga Road section in 2012, and Thital Constructions that took the responsibility of upgrading the road is no exception. Triveni Construction has only completed 25% of total works of upgrading the Samakhusi Gongabu Road section despite receiving the contract way back in 2011. Similarly, Gorkha Appropriate Technology for Reconstruction has just completed 27% work in 6 years' time. Other 4 contracts that the company had received after 2011 are also yet to commence. The capital has ample resources and also hosts most of the monitoring bodies. However, despite the ease with which these projects can proceed, in absence of strict actions, contractor companies in the capital have been exhibiting extreme carelessness. Amidst the ever-increasing trade deficit, the government, with its budget announcements made on Tuesday, declared it would double agriculture production in the next 5 years. However, agro-experts and stakeholders have opined that the government's goal is a mere stunt, as the share of agriculture producers in the national GDP has been shrinking every year. Agricultural producers contributed 38% to the GDP a decade back, which has dropped down to 27%. The agricultural sector generated a revenue of 1.1 trillion rupees back then, which stands at 800 billion rupees now. 15 other indicators of the Central Bureau of Statistics have increased. According to Central Bureau of Statistics, our dependency on imports for agricultural products has gone up, and service sector has a higher contribution to the gross domestic product than agriculture. If the practices seen so far do not change, the aim to double the agricultural production within 5 years still seems a far-fetched. The government has claimed that the goal of increasing agricultural production by 2 times is possible, as it has been operating programs at pocket regions by identifying potential crops across the nation, and plans to expand the Prime Minister's Agriculture Modernization Project to help find proper market for such crops, along with ensuring access of technical aid to 60% farmers from the current status of 20%, with easy access of fertilizers and saplings and other policy management. However, given that the government has failed to include issues related to migration of youth, the trend of deviating from agriculture, lack of necessary storage facility for agricultural producers, lack of processing facilities, among others in the budget, the aim of doubling the agricultural production is likely to be limited to papers yet again. Now, in this context, we had asked the farmers of Chitwan, Palpa and Surkhet what facilities they think will help achieve the government's target to double the agricultural production in 5 years. Let us now take a look at what they had to say.
Public voice.
टमाटर चाहिँ डाइरेक्ट इन्डियाबाट डाइरेक्ट पोखरासम्म डाइरेक्ट कहीँ चेकिङ नभइकन डाइरेक्ट इन्डिया पोखरा गएर खसिराखेको छ। हाम्रो यहाँको उत्पादन कम्तीमा पनि 25-30 रुपैयाँ किलो लागतमा पर्छ। उहाँहरूले चाहिँ ल्याएर 10-12 रुपैयाँ 15 रुपैयाँ किलो टमाटर बेच्दिनु भएको छ।
अनुदान त पाइरहेका छौं, त्यसमा पनि थप अनुदान दिएर कृषकलाई कसरी हुन्छ प्रोत्साहन दिनु पर्यो।
सिंचाई पर्याप्त मात्रामा दिनु भयो भने हामीसँग यस कृषि क्षेत्रलाई डबल गराउन सक्ने छौं।
बिउ बिजन लगाए अब अहिले त बिसादीहरु हरेक कुराहरु हुन्छन्, त्यो उपलब्ध गराइदियो, सहुलियत दरमा दिलाइदियो किसानलाई भने सायद होला।
कृषि योग्य जमिनहरु जति छन् त्यसलाई चाहिँ
टुक्रा पार्न दिनुभयो
सिँचाइ अनि औजारहरू बिउ र चाहिँ तपाईँको कीटनाशक औषधिको व्यवस्था र किसानलाई चाहिँ अनुदान
सरकारले कृषि विज्ञ सरहरू पनि यहाँ पठाइदिनु भयो भने उहाँहरूले पनि केही हामीलाई चेतनाहरू दिनुभयो भने र कृषिलाई अझै बलियो उसबाट लैजान सकिन्छ।
मल बिउ बिजन र कृषि सम्बन्धी औजारहरू उपकरणहरू र सिँचाइ नभएको ठाउँमा सिँचाइ उपलब्ध गराउन सक्यो भने सम्भव छ।
It's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And your question is, why has the government delayed the constitutional appointments? Your options are A, for arbitrary operation, B, not in priority, and C, lack of opposition pressure. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 8080 to share your opinion with us. It's now time for the sports update.
Sports news.
West Indies defeated World 11 by 72 runs in the Hurricane Relief T20 charity match played last night. Nepal's leg spin prodigy Sandeep Lamichhane had the opportunity to bowl and bat in the charity match. The match was organised to help collect relief fund to reconstruct stadiums in the West Indies that were damaged by the twin hurricanes Irma and Maria 8 months ago. In the charity match played at the Lords last night that had some 15,000 spectators, World 11 won the toss and asked West Indies to bat first. West Indies batted well and posted an impressive total of 199 runs in the allotted 20 overs, losing 4 wickets. Evan Lewis, who was the top scorer for West Indies, smashed 58 runs of 26 balls, which included 5 fours and 5 sixes. Now, wicket-keeper Dinesh Ramdeen also contributed 44 runs, while Marlon Samuels chipped in 43 valuable runs of 22 balls in West Indies' win. Rashid Khan, who claimed 2 wickets, was the top wicket-taker for World 11. Sandeep Lamichhane was given the opportunity to just bowl 1 over in the 13th over, in which he conceded 12 runs. Chasing a stiff target of 200 runs for victory, World 11 were bowled out after scoring 127 runs in 16.4 overs. Thisara Pereira, who scored 61 runs off 37 balls, which included 7 fours and 3 sixes, was the leading scorer for World 11. Apart from Shoaib Malik's 12 runs, Shahid Afridi's 11 runs and Michelle McLenagan's 10 runs, none of the other World 11 players reached double figures. Sandeep Lamichhane, however, scored 4 runs of 5 balls and remained not out. Kersik Williams, who grabbed 3 wickets, was the pick of the bowlers for West Indies. And those are the latest headlines. Our next English bulletin will be at 11 a.m. Keep watching Kantipur TV HD for more news and entertainment. Have a great day ahead.